Well, hello. Today's movie is the 1955 Disney Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. Davy Crockett and his best friend George Russell are fighting for General Jackson during the Creek War in 1813. Crockett and Russell are sent to find the main tribe, which they succeed at. They attack the tribe. Only Red Stick, their chief, manages to escape the attack. Later, Crockett then has to fight Red Stick with tomahawks, which he wins and forces him to sign the treaty. After the war, Crockett and Russell go to western Tennessee to find land to settle. There, Crockett becomes the magistrate and defeats Bigfoot Mason, who was stealing Indian land. He's elected to the state legislature and then to Congress. Only he speaks out against the Indian Appropriation Bill, which ends his career in Congress. After this, he goes to Texas and with his friend George fights at the Alamo. It is there that he dies with all the defenders. So this movie actually started out as a kind of combination of three episodes from a TV show in the 50s called The Wonderful World of Disney. It was, Davy Crockett, Indian fighter, Davy Crockett goes to Congress, and Davy Crockett at the Alamo. And they just decided to, combine them to one movie. And it was a big success. I think they had like a budget of 700,000 for these, and they made over 2.1 million. And it was also shot in North Carolina at the Cherokee Indian Reservation and used real Indians for those scenes. Plus, it's fought in eastern Tennessee and Thousand Oaks at the California Wildwood Regional Park. Now, obviously, this is a compilation of three episodes, so it kind of has three separate stories. There's the first one where he's in the war with the Creeks, and then his congressional and political career, and finally the career at the Alamo. And this was like of course, the third, the middle part where he goes to Congress, and that's probably one of the more weak parts of this movie. I know as a kids probably wouldn't have found it very exciting. I didn't probably find it very exciting. I would watch this when it was on Disney sometime on Sunday. That's how I first knew about this show. And, but now as a more adult, I kind of find it interesting that, politics even way back then was sleazy, just like it is now. I think it's almost impossible to have politics that it really isn't sleazy. It just goes to show you that's what that type of stuff is. And I find it's a fun, enjoyable movie. Fess Parker was a really likable guy as Davy Crockett. I know that the coonskin cap and that was a real big fashion statement back in the 50s for kids. And Buddy Epson started as his buddy George Russell. This was just before he became more famous for Ed Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies. Jed Clampett, Beverly Hillbillies. And I think it's one of those old times when Disney used to make stuff that was family friendly and for kids. And I think anyone would enjoy it. It's a good, solid show. I believe it was fairly based on Davy Crockett's real life. And I don't know a lot about the history of it, but I know he did fight in the Indian Wars there at the Creek, and was elected to Congress, spoke out against the Indian Appropriation Bill, and died at the Alamo. And I think Disney did follow this up with another kind of prequel that was taking two more episodes from the Wonderful World of Disney, because they killed the character off, but they wanted to, make some more money off this. And Fess Parker also went on to basically play the character in the 60s, only as another historical figure, Daniel Boone, which was also, I believe, a Disney project, and had him wearing the buckskins and coonskin caps. So, if you stuck with me this long, thanks a lot. You're a unique individual.